Hi, welcome to my video presentation. In this video, I'm gonna talk about system analysis and design. This is my assignment on level 4 diploma in information technology. So given here that I am applying for the system analyst position at the International Corporate Investment Insurance and Financial Services, which is the NatAxis, with 35 million clients and with more than 26,000 employees. So in short, I have been shortlisted for the position and I have to present a given topic to the requirement panel. These are the questions that I have to go through in this video. So I have to explain the various components of system analysis and how does this analysis fits to the system development life cycle. And then I have to evaluate different approaches to system analysis and design, and also eventually I am required to evaluate the system analysis of NatAxis. So these are the contents of this video: system analysis, the components of system analysis and design, system development life cycle, and those approaches of system analysis and design, and requirements that needed for the NatAxis. So the objective of this video is that after watching this video, the student would be able to know the different components of system analysis and design. He would be able to gather requirements that needed for the projects. So given here is an example of organizational chart. On the right side, we have those people working inside of the company. And those people have different levels of the positions. On the upper part in the left side, we have maybe the CEO or the owner of the company. And the second level, we have the managers, the supervisors, and the team leaders of the team. And the lower part, they might be the junior software developer or junior system analyst. And those are the people that are working together to help to build the systems or the current projects of the company. And now let's find out what is the system analyst. According to the research in 2000, it is the improvements of the current operations through the use of more sophisticated systems and designs tools for complex environment. However, according to 2022 research, system analysis is concerned with the providing solution based on the problem regarding with their current operations. It might include gathering data or information that the organization use for improvements. In addition, according to 2016 research, system analysis is problem-solving process. In short, and the system analyst has their job getting some information to find out what is the problem. And in that way, maybe they want to enhance or improve, and we call that system analysis. Now let's find out what is the system analysis and design. So according to 2028 research, it is an exciting field. However, the system analysts required some amounts of skills to be able to be part of this field. In short, it's a field of job that the system analyst is continuously learning, developing those skills to be more effectively and efficiently. So as you can see that we have the 6 components of system analysis and design. 1, we have analysis. 2, we have design. 3, we have development and testing. 4, we have implementation. 5, we have documentation. And finally, we have evaluation. Now let's find out the first stage, which is the analysis. It is a preliminary investigation on an existing problem, gathering all the necessities for their study. It is concerned with problem solving. So here are the things that needed for the analysis. The system analyst needs to conduct some preliminary investigations, and then conduct some interviews for managers and the team based on the current system, finding the existing problems, and gathering all those informations that needed for the projects or the system development. And then the system analyst can able to decide to do some feasibility study, which is we're gonna go forward on the step 2, which is on the design. So here on the design, there are 3 different feasibility study that the system analyst have to consider. So we have the economic feasibility, which is concerned with the benefits of the new system. Technical feasibility, which is concerned with the reliability of the resources like hardware and software. And we have sustainability of an organization to the new system where the advantages and disadvantages will be delivered. So in this design, this is one of the critical parts of the system design and analysis, where system analysts must have to conduct their research based in an organizations. And now let's suppose that the team was able to choose the right new system for the company, and now after design they have to go through on the step 3, which is the system development. In this stage, it involves all 5 components of an information system, because it requires business knowledge and management skill, where you need people to be aware of the development plan, like training for the new system, because the new system needs to be tested. Those 5 components were hardware, software, data, procedures, and people. They must have to work together to be able to get the right results. So from the design of choosing the right system, now they have to go through to test the new system, if the new system will gonna be working in the company. The system analyst will know in this stage of development. After that, they have to go through on implementation. It means after the system and users acceptance testing, now the new system or the system is made operational. This is the execution of a plan, idea, design, a specification of an overall new system, which is more critical part of system analysis. In this phase of development, using the new system and considered as operational in this implementation. But it might depends what kind of approach the company is gonna use for the operations. Finally, they have to go through on the step 5. And this step 5 is documentation. So documentation is used to explain the procedures, where pictures, graph, in order to explain the system, where the system analyst will have to discuss the functionality. On the process, we have analysis, design, development, and testing, and implementation. And finally, we are now here in the documentation. So after that, the documentation, finally, we have the evaluation. Evaluation is the final step of system analysis. The system analyst should consider the perspective of developers and users. This is also includes periodic evaluation for the weeks, months, and years. So you see these periodic evaluations from 2018, they're gonna start to evaluate the new system. This is where they're gonna see what's the improvement. Is the new system improve or help the company's operations? So those are the 6 steps of system development and design. So now let's proceed on system development life cycle. So according to 2009 research, it is very clear to understand the overall from the start of initiating that what we have mentioned earlier. Now, how can we able to answer the questions that how does the system analysis and design fits to system development life cycle? Because the system analysis and design belongs to system development life cycle. So it's very clear to understand. So we have here, we have analysis, we have design, we have implementation, and all that. So as you can see here in the diagram, we have planning, we have analysis, we have design, we have development, we have testing, we have implementation, and we have maintenance. And now let's find out the different approaches to system analysis and design based projects. We have 4 different approaches that can be able to apply during the approach of the project. We have direct approach. So here, abandoning the old system and implementing the new system during the process, it is very risky and not recommended. 2, we have parallel approach. That means running the old and new system together side by side until the new system is proved is effective, lowest but expensive. 3rd, we have pilot approach, that converting only one part of the organization system until the new system is successful, less expensive but more risky than parallel. And finally, we have phase approach. So phase approach is gradually implementing the new system to the entire organization until the new system implementation works. So it always depends on the company, because it always expensive and it always has risk based on their budgets. It's always risky to replace the old system with the new system. It is always expensive. However, according to the research in 2011 by Ching Lin, to improve the system analysis and design processes, the different approaches have been developed, and those are the traditional waterfall system development lifecycle approach, in the agile approach and the object-oriented approach. So here, based on the traditional waterfall approach, the definition is that it is formalized step-by-step approach to the system development lifecycle. So before moving to the next phase, it is considered that the one phase before the other must be completed. So for example, before you're gonna go through to the design, you need to do some planning, you need to do some investigations, you need to do some feasibility study. You cannot be able to go through to the design without completing the first step of the project. So we need to finish the investigations, the planning, the feasibility study, and making sure that you are doing the right thing and you don't have some mistakes on the particular stages. And then once you've done that, you can able to go through to the next step, which is the design. So now let's move on the agile approach. So agile approach is focusing on people, on individual rather than on the roles that people perform. It is considered for good documentations but difficult to adapt because it is confused. However, agile approach is considered not for every project, as the software is unjust and expected to refine and improve over time, which becomes unpredictable. So in other words, the agile approach is focusing on the interactions in individuals over tools and processes, because they believe that in this kind of approach, those people who are working in the field or whatever field inside of the company is more valuable than the processes that they are doing inside of the company during the operations, during the process of the project. So they give more value on the people who are working inside of the company with the current roles rather than the process and the tools. And finally, we have object-oriented approach. So based on the definition, it combines data and processes, methods into objects. Within an information system, objects could be customers, suppliers, contracts, and rental agreements. A set of diagrams or models is used to represent the various views and functionality of the system and is commonly known as unified modeling language. And the goal of the object-oriented is to improve system quality and productivity of system analysis and design by making it more usable. So that is the object-oriented approach. Finally, now we have to move on evaluating the system analysis design requirements of NatAxis. So without further explanations, we have a huge amount of people working in the company. This study will be looking at the system problem solution, then conduct research, and finally the decision will be made once there is a need to address from the system. How to gather information, what issues, what problem that I should have to address, considering all the issues and data handling, processing, rules, and business policies and guidelines. And also we need to understand as well the SWOT analysis. This is the guidelines of the interviews that I have to do. And after interviews, we need to do some observation. So directly observing users. This is where we're gonna watch the users, how they do their jobs. So after this, now we have to move on analyzing procedures. This is where what needs to improve. Now you can decide if the system needs to upgrade. So those are the sort of stuff, organizational directions and values of organizations. If you are going to analyze the system of the company, it's also good to analyze what system they have been using during the past years, probably 10 years ago, and then for the present time, because that's where you're gonna see the improvement. After we gather all those documents, now we are ready to do feasibility study. I am supposing myself as a system analyst, and so I observe that the current system logging in using automated ID, we're going to replace that to the new system, which is the face recognition system. The system analyst, I supposed myself that I saw that the current system like that is using automated ID for logging in NatAxis. Now I'm going to come up with the new system analysis and design, which is face recognition system. Let's move forward on this system. So a new system of NatAxis face recognition system here, as you can see here, once you put your face on the screen of this system here, and the system will be able to recognize your face, and that will be more easier for the employee. They can save the time. The system will be able to recognize their face, their identification, their job, their position, which department they are working with. This is where the NatAxis, for example, is using. They're using the employee card to be more effective. We're gonna conduct the face recognition system. So this is the new system now in the NatAxis to be more efficiently for the employees. We finally understand the requirements within the process. So finally we finished this presentation, and I am hoping that I made myself clear about this assignment, and thank you so much for watching.